I remember doing Rockstar in excess, and as great and a wonderful experience as that was, I swore that at the end of the show, I thought this is the greatest thing that I will never do again because
Yeah.
it was so stressful. Like I remember, I don't think to be honest, I don't think I was ever happy with any performance that I did that was recorded because I let the nerves get to me. You know, I was actually playing the lead in a show in London at the time. I lived in London before moving over to the States, and I was playing the lead in We Will Rock You there, and it was at the time it was the biggest show in London, and you know it was only
Mm.
a pretty penny, and we bought a place and you have a dog, and life was pretty sweet. And then come along the show, and God says, "Yeah, nah," you know, pulls you out,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you're in the States and performing, and basically trying. Every time you perform, it's not about performing for the fun of it or for the glory of it. It's performing and then letting a panel of judges tell you how bad you were. You know,
Yeah.
it's and in front of the whole world, and you better not screw up because you don't want to give them ammunition to point at. So there's a lot of pressure. I remember feeling I had a bit of a panic attack before going on one time. I didn't have any spittle. You know, like my mouth was so dry. It's like I can't even uh, talk. You know, I was
Yeah.
so nervous, and I wanted to throw up a couple of times because it was so nerve wracking. And I thought this is no fun. Doing these
Yeah.
reality shows, performing, it's no fun. You know, um, uh, it's life changing and can be, but I let the nerves get to me. So that were the points where I feel like, oof, why did I do this? Why did I listen to my mum and become a doctor? You know?
Do you find like those things, like, when you look at music contest shows that are being judged, and like I think Dave Grohl said this, it's like, you have these people sitting there telling these musicians, like, or these singers, no, you're not good, blah 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 blah, and it's like, you're pretty much killing this person's thing. Like, they may not be stage ready, or they may not be anywhere near musically talented, but you're burying the next generation of musicians coming through by sort of breaking them down like that. And I think, like, around that sort of time, like, that's where we saw like a lot of those type of shows where the judges were really like ruthless to a certain degree, and sort of like tore them down. So it's like, how many other people would have been going through that as well, having these like high anxiety times where they're about to go and perform in front of like millions of people on
Yeah.
TV? Like,
Yeah,
daunting.
100%, 100%. I couldn't watch any reality TV shows after doing Rockstar because I would actually get anxious just watching them. They're about to perform, and I could feel what they were going through, and I was just like, oh, I can't. I got to step away because
Mm.
it's fully intense, and we were given psychoanalysis before going into the show. Went through a whole screening process to see, do you have the mental fortitude
Yes,
to actually withstand this? Are you strong enough? Will you break? Do you have anything like, for example, that you would just lose it kind of vibe? So we went through this whole. I guess it was a screening, you know, to find out if I do you, will you be okay? And even at
yeah,
the end, we even had a debriefing session when we were off the show finished. We all had we were brought to a psych who just basically debriefed us and just said,
mm,
okay, now you're entering the real world. Because you know the emotions are so heightened in these things when you get sequestered from the rest of the world, and this is a very interesting thing which I did not expect getting into this world, that you know you're cut off from the rest of the world. You have no newspapers, no radio, no TV, nothing. All
mm,
those people you're only allowed to speak to are those contestants in the show. So those 15 people are your world. Okay, except
yeah,
for Brooke Burke and Dave Navarro, who are and in INXS guys who are kind of like the gods. You know, we could talk
yeah,
to them when we were allowed to, kind of vibe.
yeah.
But it was a sense of like these 15 people, you've grew to love them so much because they were your world. And when someone was eliminated from the show, it felt like a death. It
Yeah.
felt like grieving because suddenly they were gone, and the vacuum that they left, because when you went back to the house, the Paramore house, they had removed every bit of evidence that they were ever in the house, so they just disappeared.
They just take that memory away from them, like from
They're
you guys. Yeah.
gone, and so you enter this room, and if you were close to someone or you had a conversation, it kills you because you become an
It's almost
absolute.
like a passing.
It is a passing. You grieve, and it's real. So you see people who like get upset with people leave. I get it because they've lost a friend, literally.
Yeah, because like it's always like whenever I've seen reality TV shows like that, and it's like, no matter what it might be, and you see someone get eliminated from it, like I was always one of those people like would watch reality TVs and like see people, like bawling down and crying. I'm like fuck, come on, man! Like the show goes
Get
for
over
6
it.
weeks. Like you're gonna see them like they're not terminally ill, and then it's better. Then it's like when you look at it and you break it down like that, when you're with these people 24/7, there's
Yeah,
no communication with family, friends, or outside world. It's like literally eat, sleep,
yeah,
you know, whatever it is that you're there to do, whether it be music,
yeah.
trained, whatever, or whatever it may be. That's all you're doing from the moment you wake up to the moment that you sleep.
Yeah, we're a strange species, humans. You know, we get to adapt to our environment pretty quickly, and our environment becomes so adaptable that when we hit a point like that where it's so unreal and not a different world, that
Mm.
becomes our world. And so any concept of anything outside that for the time being is just totally alien, and that's something I didn't expect. I really didn't expect to feel that, and at the same time, it also those people that I share those time with, we're still in contact even now. Like the contestants, we're still
Yeah.
really good friends. We have a WhatsApp thread. As soon as someone says, "Hey, rock stars, what's going on, fuckers?" And we go, "Oh, hey, how you doing now?" And it fills up really fast, and we're still in touch with each other, and whenever we can, we get to see each other. So it's cool. I equate it to being like war buddies because we went literally through war together.
Did anyone have like any mental like freakouts when they were there? Like, because it's such an intense thing, but because also as well, these people that you're there with are like they are your competition. They're the people gunning for the same thing that you're gunning for. Like, was there
Yeah,
anyone there that sort of like, and like, you don't need to sort of mention names, but
yeah,
like, was there
yeah.
anyone there that sort of was on the brink of just like mentally crumbling throughout the
Well,
experience?
I'm not. Yeah, thank you for not throwing me under the. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, and I don't
No,
want to incriminate anybody. But there were a couple of meltdowns in the show that I thought, oh my god, this is going to make amazing television. I was watching this going, furniture being thrown into the pool and glasses being thrown at the wall and just screaming and shouting and he's a certain person grabbing a cameraman and all that. I was like, this is crazy.
yeah,
This is going to make great TV. And it never made it to the TV because they
really,
didn't want to throw this particular person, and but it would have been very damaging for this person if that came out. So anyway,
really.
that stuff I'll keep to myself. I don't know if I've signed an NDA about that. I'm okay, but I just
Well
don't.
and truly past,
He's
but yeah, no. Anyway, like, as if you're still
he's
friends with him,
he's a
you
cool
don't want
guy.
to.
We're all good friends, and it's all fine. But it has those times when being in that vacuum, being in that situation where the pressure, it's like a pressure cooker. It really is, and we go through a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of pressure. Oh, sorry. um,
All good.
Pressure. There's a lot of tension in the air, and it's this unreal environment, and I think it's a recipe for possible disaster. So, people got to be careful about that. I think the debriefing from the psychiatrist. We were given an hour with a psychologist after the show, and I don't think there was enough. I think I needed therapy after the show, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, like, but as far as like the whole reality thing as well, because it's like rock star musicians. Was there like encouragement for you guys to like hit the piss, like get on some drugs? Like, was there was that like obviously that shit was like it's not, yeah, it's not saying you have to, but we strongly encourage you to drink this bottle of Jack Daniels and Jägermeister and a
Mate,
handful of ecstasy.
well.
Line up.
Oh, that would be a fantastic reality TV show, that
Yeah.
one. But no, definitely beer and wine were
Yeah.
available 24/7. We had we had a bar in Paramore that had beer, and the fridge was stocked with Yellowtail Australia. I don't know if there were sponsors, but it was all Yellowtail Australian whites and reds.
Oh
If you wanted to
wow.
drink wine and beer, go for it. You created, some fun moments, but I think they wanted us to have more drama, and that's the thing about the show. They put all this alcohol. They put like a cinder box. And they're about to light the fuse by giving us wine, and it ended up like we were actually just all a bunch of like musicians who were who had done some kind of something before. We weren't just fresh out of being a checkout chick at Coles. We were.
Yeah.
We had done some of them had toured with major acts. Some of them had recording deals before this.
Professionals.
We were in our 30s and late 20s, or except for Georgia, she was younger, 22 or something. We had our experience. So we came in this going, wow, you guys play music. Let's have fun. So instead of us fighting with each other, we just, it was more kumbaya than pash pow bam. We would get around the campfire and sing songs to each other all night, and jam all night. It was great. It was so much fun with those guys.